Yahweh will rise up at Mount Zion. He's going to do this unusual task of getting rid of all of his enemies. But you know what? Rising up at Mount Perazim, do you have any reference on that in your Bible? This relates to a victory that David had. When the Philistines heard that all Israel had embraced him as king, they went out to battle. And you can read this in 2 Samuel 5, 17 through 21. David saw the massing of the Philistines and he prayed to God. And God had an outstanding victory over the enemies of King David. Now, who was King David in the prophets? Long after King David had died, he still called David their king. Jesus, the Messiah, the branch of Jesse. Okay? And so, kind of interesting that Isaiah would reference a victory of David against the enemies of God's people when he called out to him. And here we're talking about the David who is to come. And God's going to do his extraordinary work, and he's going to eliminate the enemies. Watch this. He says he will be stirred up to do his unusual task and to his extraordinary work. So don't carry on as scoffers. Why not? Because if you keep being a scoffer, what's going to happen to you?
Your shackles will be made stronger.
Yeah. Those things that are binding you and keeping you from coming to God will just get stronger. For I have heard from the Lord Yahweh of hosts of decisive destruction. And so you can respond however you want. But Egypt can't help you. What I build on Mount Zion can. It's coming. Is your heart ready to embrace it, to endure it? You won't be put to shame if you build on that rock. Now, there are things that life might not be what you want it to be, but you won't be put to shame if you build on that rock. And the same is true today. You know, Alan, I think about that sometimes. But yeah, I won't be put to shame. I got people making fun of, on next door, they make fun of religious beliefs and act like it's stupid. What do you mean I won't be put to shame? Well, the final bell hasn't sounded yet. And when it's the outcome of choices, not the place and time where you happen to be right now with your choice, but the outcome. You'll never be put to shame, but you got to trust that. Now, a simple illustration of the quality of trust we're talking about is when God asked Abraham to sacrifice Isaac.